200, you have to be able to justify that and somehow in the marketing of your practice be able to demonstrate that it's worth that. So if you're the only pediatric neuropsychologist in the whole region, then I guess you can charge more. That's something really valuable to people. But if you're a sort of a generic counselor, your website indicates you offer all the same services everyone else does, and you're charging a lot more, you might not get many referrals. As your skill goes up, you have more credentials, more experience, you have specialized services, what we call niche areas of practice that you develop, then you can market those and you're worth more. But I do agree, Anthony, that you want to charge the most you can that people are willing to pay. And some of that you kind of have to experiment and find out. But you don't want to undercharge or overcharge. A number of these topics are things that, again, would be included in the course. I want to highlight I'm going to zip through some of this and highlight some of the key issues that I want people to know about. Okay, so advertising is the sharing of information about the services you provide to the public. Like a Yellow Pages ad is advertising, or a TV commercial. Marketing goes far beyond that. There are a number of different things one can do for marketing a practice. And so as an example, you could give free presentations in the local community on topics where you're an expert. So if you're an expert in like parenting skills and strategies and child behavior management and ADHD kinds of things, you could maybe contact different organizations and volunteer to give free presentations to the community, whether it's at the public library, the PTA. You can give presentations to teachers at a school. You can't just show up and go to the teacher's room and start presenting. You can contact the facility or the place, share request to speak to the principal or the owner or whoever the person is, and introduce yourself. Maybe have like a flyer or brochure that you had created, and you mail that to them with a cover letter, and you follow with a phone call. All these are part of marketing your practice. And then if you're giving this presentation, hopefully you're giving them something that's of value to them. So if I go to a school and I give a presentation for an hour on behavior management strategies for teachers, or screening for mental health issues, or dealing with difficult parents, or whatever the topic might be, hopefully they'll feel like, wow, that was really valuable, that was really helpful. And maybe I have handouts, a one-page handout that's key points that I leave for them at the end. And maybe just coincidentally, my business card is stapled to it, or just on the logo, it's my letterhead for my office. And maybe I'd say, if any of you have an issue or challenge that you just want to briefly consult with, my email address and phone number here, feel free to call me. Now, I'm not looking to give away all my services free because I can't earn a living that way. But in terms of marketing my practice, bless you, I have to give something away to potential referral sources, because how else will they know what services I have to offer? And I know, like if I give a presentation at a school as an example, they're not really seeing my skills as a psychotherapist, but they're getting a sense of how well I can present things. Do I seem knowledgeable? Do I seem competent? Can I answer their questions? Do I seem really aloof and sarcastic? Or do I seem warm and caring and empathic? You will get a sense of that. And then if one of them refers a family to me, or refers a parent or the child to me, that's one referral. You have to say, how much is one referral worth to you? So how could you figure that out? How can you figure out what is the value of a referral? Any thoughts? Maybe you're not supposed to know this, you haven't taken this course yet, but how might you figure out what is the value of a single referral to you?
Try to estimate how much you'll be charging the person, how long typically they will be in your
Right.
service.
Now, I can't guarantee how long someone will stay in treatment, but let's just assume, on average, I'm thinking like 15 sessions. And let's say I charge $100 a session. I don't need a calculator for that one. So I can say one referral is worth, no, really, I can figure it out. Watch, $1,500. Wasn't that good?
That was good.
Okay, good. So I can figure out that's the income. Now I do have, for my business plan, I know I have expenses. So obviously I'm paying rent and my phone, but it's not for that one person. So I have to say, how many hours a week am I working? And I have to divide all my expenses by that number of hours. So per client, my expenses are $22, and I'm bringing in this amount, $22 per week, let's say, per client hour. I can figure out the difference of 100 versus 22. Wait a second. So in that case, if a referral is worth 100 minus
I don't have a calculator.
22, $78 a session is what it's worth to me. So is it, in essence, is it worth $1,500 to you to take 1 hour and give a presentation at a school? If I put it that way, it's like, oh, it's not like, well, I'm giving away my time free. No, this is an investment. What if you get, over the course of a year, 10 referrals? And then once I get a referral and I treat someone, I have to ethically and appropriately do this, but I want to be able to follow up with the referral source. So for example, let's say it's a physician who refers a client to me. I want to have the client's consent to be able to follow up and share information with the physician. So I can send a follow-up letter thanking the physician for the referral, letting her or him know that we had the initial appointment, briefly describing the results of my intake interview, the key issues, and what our current plan is, and following up, basically summarizing, saying that I'll keep them informed of all significant changes in the person's functioning as treatment continues.
Would it be ethical to, in some way, reciprocate a referral with either a Christmas gift or referring clients back to that person?
We'll just have to wait and take the course. It can't be, for every one referral you send me, I do this one thing for you. Like I have a physician group with 4 physicians who provide me with lots of referrals. And typically once a year I do pay for and bring a lunch, like a luncheon for all their staff. So that's something I do once a year for everyone in the office, including all the support staff and everyone. Do you think that in any way that might influence them to send me referrals? How about if I was incompetent? What if I was incompetent? Do you think they'd still send them? Or if I didn't help people, so it's sort of like an extra thing, but it can't be one for one. For every referral, I send you $12. The ethics code prohibits that. The idea is there's marketing of the practice. So another marketing example would be, what if I have a column in the local community newspaper on mental health types of issues? So like one column might be on holiday blues, and another one on parenting, dealing with your difficult teen, and whatever. I can't give specific advice to an individual, but again, it's general information to the community. And at the end, it's called Ask Dr. Jeff or something like that. And at the end, that's my address, my email, all that stuff. Practice website address, things like that. That's marketing my practice. So it's not just you sit and wait for referrals to come. It's much more than just an advertising. And there's a lot more that goes into it, but these are sort of some of the basics to be thinking about. So referrals is how you build your practice. One of the best sources of referrals is former or current clients who are pleased with the services you provide. So in many ways, providing really good services and helping people helps to build your practice. But I don't know how you do that. I mean, do you ask them, could you please refer your friends and family members? Why not? I don't want to do that. But I've had situations where, like, if I refer someone, I'll get like a follow-up letter. Thank you for referring so-and-so to our practice. We very much appreciate it. Well, in our business, you can't do that because that's a confidentiality issue. And we hope that people will refer others, but unless you have someone's specific consent to disclose confidential information, we have to keep it confidential. But there are many different referral sources out there that certainly can be tapped into. So for me, I have a number of private schools that refer to me, a number of physician groups that refer to me, and then former clients. And I have to maintain my referral sources There are times when I haven't received a referral in a long time from a specific physician group. What are my options in that case, in that situation? So they used to refer clients to me all the time, haven't received a referral from them for quite some time. What are my options? Call them? Crazy. So follow up with them in some way? Because another option is to just say, oh, well, I guess that one's dried up. I can't get referrals from them anymore. I mean, I don't know why they haven't referred lately. Maybe they haven't had their patients who were appropriate for me, or maybe they just sort of forgot about me, and keeping on their radar will stimulate more referrals, because I've had that happen repeatedly. And so, for example, I've created certain patient handouts that physicians can use and at the schools to give for teachers and parents, where I just provide a little update. Or, for example, if I have a article that came out or a presentation I gave, I can send like a little blurb about it. Just say, just thought you might be interested in this, or let's say I find an article out there that's on parenting issues or something relevant to the referral source, and I send them that with a brief cover note and just say, I saw this article and thought this might be useful for you and the members of your practice. I'm hoping this is helpful. I've also included several of my business cards. I'm hoping that if you find that I can be of help to any of your patients, that you'll refer them to me. I'd be happy to be of assistance. If you have any patients you'd like to discuss or consult about anytime, please feel free to contact me at your convenience. My cell phone number is this. I give them my cell phone number. I make it as easy as possible for them to access me and to send me money. Because that's what referrals are. Referrals are money. Now, doesn't that sound very cold-hearted and calculated? I mean, you're becoming a mental health professional because you want to help people. You care about people. If you wanted just to make money, maybe you would have gone to business school or just start a business. So you've decided, I don't want to be a business person, I want to be a caring mental health professional. I'm sorry to break it to you, as a caring mental health professional, you will also be a business person. You have to charge a fee for the services you provide. Because if you don't, you can't pay your rent. You can't buy food or clothing. Those are bad things. And so it might feel uncomfortable charging people for being caring. So that's not really what you're doing. Your caring can be genuine, and you can really help them because of your knowledge and skills. You offer a service that they value, and you charge them for that. Just as someone would pay money to get their car repaired, or pay money to go to a dentist or an optometrist, well, they will pay to go to a mental health professional. And there's a lot of data out there on disposable income, and the billions of dollars people pay for all sorts of stupid things. Yet, we offer something really of great value. And so the resources are there and the need is there. But if they don't know about us, and they don't know of our availability, and the location of our practice, and the specific services we offer, they can't make an appointment. And so how we go about advertising and marketing becomes very, very important. And getting very comfortable with being a business person, charging for the services you provide, becomes really important. So there are some, here's one, advertising issues. I know my ethics class has heard about this restaurant where they have the world's best cup of coffee. So similarly, I like to advertise as world's best psychologist. Unfortunately, the Federal Trade Commission, the State Licensure Board, and the Ethics Office all have something to say about that. So I can only advertise factual information that's truthful and accurate. I can't make subjective statements about the abilities I have. So this is a business card. I think it's really nice. John Jones, PhD, board-certified neuropsychologist, specializing in children and adolescents, LifeBridge Services Incorporated, telephone, fax, and email address. So what do you see that's either unethical or illegal in this business card?
Serene beach picture.
A serene beach picture. probably okay. So we're Brad Smith Straws. This is appropriate. You know, your name, the highest earned degree, any earned credentials that you have. So if you're licensed clinical professional counselor, that's an earned status, it's a fact. Board certified neuropsychologist, that's a fact. The areas of practice you have, again, people need to know what you offer. If they're looking for treatment of eating disorders, they need to know, do you do that? Or if they're looking for psychological testing for an adult or whomever, they need to know that. So here's another one. Hope Health Services, Linda Smith, PhD, best pediatric psychologist in the tri-state area. Reduction of depression symptoms guaranteed in 2 weeks. Anne Marie. Hello, how are you today?
Good, how are you?
You remembered your name, aren't you thrilled?
Pretty thrilled.
Like I was calling you there. What are your thoughts about this particular business card?
I think it's a little unethical.
So just a little unethical.
That's an understatement. It's very.
So on the spectrum of ethical to unethical, it's like a 2 or 3.
I don't know about that, but you can't say that
You
you're
can't
the
say
best
that.
pediatric psychologist.
But what if your mom told you you are? She really is very nurturing and loving you. Not good enough. So again, that's a subjective appraisal. That's not a statement of fact. But Anne Marie, I know this is a good one though. Reduction of depression symptoms guaranteed in 2 weeks. So don't you think that would promote confidence in people that they want to come to your office and have treatment from you? They pay big bucks for that.
You can't put any type of guarantees on the business.
It'd be kind of hard to know in advance how long treatment's going to last. And we can't make guarantees. I mean, I know it seems silly, but you can't make guarantees. This would be inappropriate as well. Oh, this is the one question. This is from my website. For those of you who visited my practice website, I know you've seen this. So Lauren, you've seen this one.
Of course.
This is a testimonial endorsement from the Smiths of Gaithersburg, Maryland. And there they are with their daughter, Kristen. Yes, Rachel? You have a reaction to this? Okay, just check. With your help and support, our daughter Kristen is coming home to us with a newfound determination to live her life free of her eating disorder. For that and for so many other things about herself that you have helped her discover, we will be eternally grateful. You'll always be in our heart. With gratitude, Kelly and Brad Smith, Gaithersburg, Maryland. And there's the happy family with their very healthy-looking daughter now. Now that's advertising. That's marketing and practice. What do you think? Laura Patterson, you know what you think. You like it, right?
I just be careful with referrals like that, because it could be perceived as false advertising if someone were to you and not be able to have some experience, and psychological disorders can be so unique to the individual.
So it's implying maybe that everyone's going to expect the same result, which we can't guarantee. There's some confidentiality issues here. Also, maybe they offered it to me, or maybe I asked them for this testimonial, but am I somehow maybe taking advantage of the vulnerability and the power differential here in this relationship? And so, again, there are ethical ways of advertising, ethical ways of marketing. We have to do those things. There are also inappropriate ways of doing these as well, and we want to obviously avoid that. I think that's, I mean, these are any blatant examples. You can go visit my website and see if that's really there if you're not sure. So, I'm going to show you the syllabus for this new course. That's it. Is there anyone here who could actually potentially be interested in taking an actual full course on business of practice and entrepreneurship? So you might actually want to see this syllabus and find out what's involved in it. Let's do that. One that says syllabus. I'll click on that. So this course is PY 711, and 711 is just different modules that they have. There's a lot of courses with that number that are electives, but this is business of practice and entrepreneurship for professionals. I'm not going to go through everything, but some of the course objectives have to do with learning how to develop your own business plan and what goes into that, learning to develop your own marketing plan, understanding the basic principles of entrepreneurship, and business of practice is one thing, but learning to be an entrepreneur goes beyond that. And there are these 20 principles of being an entrepreneur that you'll learn. And then also knowing about the basic business aspects of practice, so staff issues, insurance issues, space issues, leasing, contracts, all those types of things, hiring, firing, and so on, referrals, advertising. And then understanding how to work with or without, or in or not in, insurance and managed care, because those are both legal, contractual issues, as well as ethical and clinical issues. So learning about that as well as a practitioner is important. And then understanding all the ethical aspects of business and practice. And in this class, everyone will actually develop their own financial business plan after learning how to do that. Similar to what I was describing, of like what are all the anticipated expenses or costs, what are all the sources of income, and actually how you can figure out, is this worth doing? Is this financially viable? Or do I need to take out a small business loan? Like, how do I actually afford to open a practice and to start it? You have to have a certain amount of money to invest into it to get started. Again, it's very tempting sometimes to just join someone else's group, sign a contract as an independent contractor, take the 40%, because that's an easy way to start. It feels uncomfortable often to go into debt initially, to say, okay, I'm going to actually take a loan from a bank and spend this money to start a practice with no income to speak of, and no referrals coming in yet, taking a risk. And so to start a business can feel risky. And some will start a full-time practice, just jump right into it. Others will have a salaried job, like at a hospital or a clinic, and then slowly start your own small practice evenings or weekends, and then keep developing and growing it, and then back off of the employee position. There's multiple models one can take. But again, learning how to do a business plan. And then understanding about managed care, obviously I mentioned. Understanding different ways of earning a living outside of managed care. And there are hundreds of them. These areas of niche practice. You can learn how to develop specific areas of specialization that people will pay for, that they don't go through insurance to do. And I don't mean this in a negative or pejorative sense, but it's not good to be a generic counselor. You have to have something more specific, more special, that will make people want to come to see you, to separate yourself from everyone else out there who's also advertising and marketing and trying to get these referrals and get clients. And so if you do certain kinds of evaluations or run certain kinds of groups, I have a colleague in Montgomery County who's developed this very large multi-site practice with all these people working for her based on resilience groups and social skills groups for school-age children. And she's written a workbook on it, has a DVD that goes with it, and she has waiting lists, and she keeps hiring more people to have more groups. She's created a niche. And you can't necessarily just start from scratch saying, okay, I'll do social skills and resilience groups. You have to learn it